Welcome to Pressing Rewind. My name is Tim Nydell. Today's episode, I'm taking you to D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, a convention that happens every 2 years in Anaheim, California. So come with me as I go retro toy and collectible hunting, and I talk to the lovely Margaret Kerry, the inspiration for Tinkerbell in the classic 1953 Disney animated movie, Peter Pan. You do not want to miss it. Stay tuned. Looking long and hard for the, the D23 Emporium. I finally found it. What am I looking for today at D23? Sometimes you can find some really cool vintage, like Disney afternoon stuff, or honestly, I'm looking for older stuff too, stuff from Walt's era, you know, from the 50s and up, or even earlier. I'm not gonna buy a lot of this stuff because I don't have money for it, but it's always cool to see. So let's go check out some of the stores here at the Emporium and see what I can find from my childhood and from earlier. Indiana Jones. This might be the first thing that I buy here. It's kind of hard to tell what year this is from. My eyes are getting so bad, but this might be the first thing that I buy here. And after looking at it a little bit more, it was from 2023 from Hasbro, so not the old retro Indiana Jones I was hoping for, but it was still cool to see though. Some gummy bears there. Got Roger Rabbit stuff here. One of my favorite movies. Funny thing is, I was at Disneyland the other day, and they actually covered up Jessica Rabbit in like a yellow trench coat. I guess she's a little too risque for kids now. Actually kind of had to excuse myself from there because it got really busy, almost like Disneyland yesterday, which I don't know if you can tell, but I went to Disney, my head got burnt, so I started to embrace my beautiful baldness and not wear a hat. Should have worn sunscreen though, I didn't, but let's go keep walking around D23, maybe it will die down a little bit in the Emporium there. Got this pretty sweet little X-Men tribute. I know it's X-Men 97, but it is pretty much a spin-off of the X-Men animated series I loved as a teenager in the 90s. My favorite character has always been Gambit there. Of course, I also love Wolverine, I love Beast, I love Storm. I mean, I love pretty much everybody. And that show was pretty awesome. So I've actually met you twice before. I've interviewed you like
have?
3 years ago for my show Saturday Morning Rewind.
Say again the name.
Saturday Morning Rewind. We talked about your retro stuff, all your voiceover, not
Right.
voiceover. I guess you did do voiceover in, did you do a little bit of voiceover in Peter Pan?
Yes, I was the redheaded mermaid.
That's what I thought.
Oh, Peter, we're so happy to see you.
What is your favorite Walt Disney quick story?
Well, I was chatting with him. We had a layover stop when we were filming, and he was standing there, and he looks up at me and says, I understand you went to school with my daughters. And I went, what? That's Walt did. Yes, I did. But it just didn't occur to me that Sharon and Diane had anything to do with the head of the studio. And he said they liked you.
That's awesome.
Yes,
I didn't hear. I've never heard that story. You didn't tell me that story years ago. You're just full of memories.
Yes. That's why I have the book.
I have the book.
Yeah.
I bought the book.
Yeah.
I bought the book. Margaret, thank you. You are truly inspiration. Peter Pan is one of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Oh,
so
it gets better, but I want to say Mark Davis is the one who took Tinkerbell from nothing. There's nothing in the book, the original, that says what she looks like. And he is the one who changed her into this little creature that everybody, that was 72 years ago.
Crazy.
And it was Mark Davis who did it. Of course, he was smart enough to cast me in the role.
Of course. It wouldn't be the same without you.
No, absolutely. I keep telling myself.
Well, Mark, can I have a hug?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much for everything, Margaret.
I don't know anybody who can hold their own camera and hug at the same time.
I got long monkey arms.
Not bad, not bad.
Well, it's good seeing you again.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
You too. God bless.
You too. God bless you. Just had the honor and privilege of meeting Margaret Kerry again for my third, maybe fourth time. So if you don't know who she is actually the model and the reference for Tinkerbell from the original Peter Pan. Mark Davis, the animator for Disney, was the animator for Tinkerbell. If you ever have a chance of meeting her, do it. She's amazing.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We interrupt Pressing Rewind to bring you this message from Pressing Rewind. Do you want to help out with future episodes? Patreon is a safe and reliable way to help the further development of the show. For only $5 a month, your proceeds will help Pressing Rewind release exciting new content on a regular basis. And as a thank you for your donation, your name will be featured at the end of every video. Visit PressingRewind.com or the description below for more details.
And now, back to Pressing Rewind with Tim Nydell. Where's the drum roll when you need it?
Heading into Hall B. I don't know if there's anything retro in here. Everything looks new, like this little Avatar section here. I mean, Avatar's cool and all, but it's not retro. It's not vintage. Okay, that's kind of cool. The car that Homer makes in the animated series Simpsons, a little replica, that's pretty awesome. Signed by Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons, of course. From The Absent-Minded Professor, such an underrated film. There's a vehicle. There's the 1915 Ford Model T Touring from the movie. I just love all the old classic Disney movies like The Absent-Minded Professor, that kind of good wholesome stuff you don't really make nowadays. So this is from the 2010, I think it came out 2010 movie. It's not from the series I grew up loving as a kid, but man, I've always wanted the A-Team van. Maybe one day I'll get a van and pimp it out to be like the A-Team. It's pretty sweet. And right now it looks like we're heading back into the Emporium, looking for more, I guess, Disney Afternoon, other older stuff. I keep finding myself coming back to Gary's Collectibles. I think that's my favorite booth here so far in the expo.
I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you so much. There's some stuff from Robin Hood, probably my second favorite Disney movie.
I bought the orange bird in it.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Plushes from when I was a kid right there. Looks like it's 105 for all three. That's actually not too bad, I don't think. It's always nice to see the Muppets in here. Disney kind of forgot all about them, so it's cool to see some shops here have some good Muppet stuff to buy. Ludwig von Drake, one of my favorite kind of unknown characters. Not unknown, but lesser known characters. Paul Frees. Also Corey Burton now. The voices. How much are the Ludwig von Drakes? The two. Yeah, no, that one, then the one behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, how much?
This one's $195.
Five. Okay.
There's a rubber figure, 38.
38. I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
Right now, I think I'll sit down for a little bit. My back's killing me. I'm gonna show you what I bought so far here at D23. First item I did pick up, I did end up getting that Ludwig von Drake because he's one of my favorite underrated Disney characters. Originally voiced by Paul Frees, who is my all-time favorite voice actor. I didn't know he actually squeaks. And then I ended up getting that Roger Rabbit I found at my favorite little booth here so far at the expo. Very clean condition. I don't see any spots or anything. Original from the late 80s when the movie came out. Something tells me you're going to start seeing him in the background of videos on the set soon of Pressing Rewind. Very cool. I mean, if his hair is in good standing condition. A lot of times it's matted down. All right, let's go. Got a little bit of Disney afternoon there with Rescue Rangers, and right above in the corner, a little bit of DuckTales. I guess not quite DuckTales because Scrooge isn't in his blue shirt there, but it's DuckTales. Really, if I had my way, I'd have all these framed up in my home everywhere. Don't think my wife would agree with that, but we've got a little bit of Goofy movie here. I'm glad Goofy movie's getting some love. It's coming back in a good way. And yet more Goofy movie, and this is beautiful. Price tag not so much, but I get it. That's awesome. That would 100% be in my living room right there. Now this piece is a masterpiece. Okay, now that's cool. What is this? On my way out of the expo. At first, my first thoughts, not as good as the other two that I've been to. I don't know if I've been to 2 or 3, I forget. But not as good at first, but it turned out to be really good. Especially that last little hurrah around the area where you buy all the merch at. Picked up something really cool. Here, let me show you real quick. I did end up getting this DuckTales. Don't quite know what it is. I know this is not a scene from the series. So I know it's not storyboard, anything like that. Maybe a promotional item, maybe for a book. I'm not sure, but for 25 bucks, I definitely had to pick that up, especially since I said DuckTales is my favorite cartoon of all time, that and Thundercats. So I had to pick that up. It's going to look great on my office wall. The second item, I do not want to take out of this wrapping that I got it in because I gotta fly home. So this has to fit in my luggage just like this. But I will go back to my office and show you guys right now what's inside here. I'm excited. Welcome back to the Press and Rewind Studios. So after I recorded that last little bit where I show you the DuckTales sketch, I went back to my hotel in Anaheim, and about 20-30 minutes later it hit me what that was actually from. So here it is, the sketch that I bought. When I was sitting there in my hotel room, I remembered a book that I had when I was a kid that featured cave ducks and dinosaurs. So after a little bit of Google research, I found out this sketch was for this late 80s DuckTales book, Dinosaur Ducks. And I had this book when I was a kid, and cassette, I believe, too. So if you flip over to page 18 in the book, there you'll see the page where the sketch is from that I bought. So this sketch was actually used to create this book here. And for $25, I really couldn't pass on the opportunity of getting more. So I actually walked back to the convention and picked up this one right there. And you'll find that one on page number 13 right there. The last thing I bought that I didn't show you that was rolled up in the tube was this print that I've been looking for a very long time for our house. So, in our house, we have a tall staircase where there's a big wall with nothing on it. I've always wanted to put a print there of the Haunted Mansion stretching portrait, and I found one there. It's a limited edition print, number 40 out of 250 ever made, signed by the artist Tim Rogerson in the early 2000s. So now when we go down the staircase, this stretching portrait is revealing itself every step that we go down. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.